Well, hey there and good morning, friends. It's the most heartwarming story of the morning. After losing touch after high school some 20 years ago, Chad Logan reconnected with his former football teammate Steve Kostick for one big reason: to save his life after being placed on the kidney transplant list last November. Following a long battle with lupus, Steve began desperately looking for donors through social media, even putting a decal on his car. And after hearing Steve's story, Chad was tested and found out he was a perfect match. And on May the 16th, Chad successfully donated one of his kidneys to Steve. Now, 1 month of recovery later, join me now to welcome in from Denver, Steve Kostick and Chad Logan. Good morning. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you.
Steve, how you feeling?
I feel absolutely fantastic. It's a whole new life for me.
Well, I understand after battling with lupus, you only had about 6% that was really working, and you needed some help. Chad, what made you come forward and say, I'm going to give you one of my kidneys?
You know, it was really interesting. Kind of, as you alluded to, we hadn't spoken in 20 years since high school, and you know, through social media we had reconnected, and I read Steve's story, and it was one of those things where when I read that he was in need, there wasn't even a question that I could help. And it's kind of, it's weird to say, but from the moment that I read of his need and understanding, you know, he's got 4 little children under the age of 7, it really spoke pretty near and dear to my heart. And it just so happens that that's how it shook out.
Amazing. I mean, and you hadn't even spoken with each other in decades. Steve, how has lupus affected your life?
Lupus has, I mean, it's really just impacted my kidneys. It's made me a bit more sick. I had pericarditis when I first was diagnosed with it. It's kind of prevented me from being able to just be healthy overall.
Yeah,
well, I mean, really, my kidneys.
And it could have gotten worse. I mean, how does this feel? Are you just overwhelmed that your buddy from 20 years ago that you used to pal around with on the football field came forward and basically saved your life in a lot of ways?
I'm extremely overwhelmed by that. When they called me and told me that Chad was the donor, I broke down in tears. I couldn't imagine the sacrifice that he was making and saving my life, but I mean, he's changing the lives of my family and my friends and my colleagues.
Unbelievable. Chad, what was y'all's relationship like when you were on the football field decades ago?
You know, we were teammates. I certainly knew Steve, but we ran in different circles. He's a year younger than me, and you know, in school that can be quite a bit, especially in high school. So I knew of Steve. He and my sister are the same age. Always thought really highly of him, but beyond that, short of being teammates.
Gosh, I mean, you were just such a stand-up guy to do this. I can't even believe it. Not even a family member, haven't spoken in decades, and you weren't even best friends. How are you feeling? What was the process like for you?
So I feel like $1,000,000. You know, the process was awesome. When Steve first indicated that he was in need, and I reached out, he sent me some information, and so I got in contact with Presbyterian St. Luke's, who is the hospital that did the transplant, and they did an amazing job of getting me, you know, there was some over-the-phone mental health screening, and then I came out for some testing, and within just a couple of days of testing, I got a phone call that said, hey, you're a great match for Steve. Is this something that you want to move forward with? And without hesitation, the answer was yes.
Well, I'm just absolutely blown away. I'm sure our viewers are as well, and your health is your wealth, so a great thing that you were able to do for your buddy. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
And happy Father's Day.